We are honored now to be joined by Daryl Stewart, who's a performer, producer, educator, and artist as well at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, NJPAC, and also winner of the NJEA Award for Excellence. Daryl, great to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Steve. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, first of all, before we talk about the award, talk about the arts in your life. When did you know that the arts would be such a big part of your life, particularly the performing arts?
Well, I knew pretty early, Steve. I went to the Paper Mill Playhouse at a very early age. A student rushed a ticket to a performance of a chorus line around 12 years old. And that, after I saw that show, I knew that I was going to dedicate my life to the arts. And I've been at that work ever since. So I was introduced to the arts early. I was introduced to professional theater early, and that allowed me sort of the opportunity to really dive deeply into my passion for it.
Talk about this award.
This award is super special to me because I'm a teaching artist, Steve. And so I spend a lot of time and energy and effort working with schools and working with teachers in districts, public, private, and parochial, to make sure that the arts is a part of the school community's culture. So to win this award, for me, to be presented with this award by NJEA is super special because it's a community of people who I have a great deal of admiration and respect for. So I was shocked and so excited and honored to accept it, and to be able to go to the convention in person also meant a lot to me. So I'm super, super grateful.
You know, I'm sure you're grateful for a lot of things, but the thing that we're grateful for as I read about and hear about your story and try to understand your journey is your resilience. So let me ask you something. The most challenging part as an artist, performer, producer, educator of this pandemic, as we tape this program at the end of 2021, it'll be seen in the new year as well. The most challenging part for you has been?
Most challenging part for me has been holding on to hope. Holding on to hope in a way that feels accessible and tangible, because for artists, we are still very much trying to find our way, as we all are, through the pandemic. But particularly for theater, which I call a contact sport, it's very difficult because sometimes we're not sure what the future will look like. And so that can begin to wear on you, and it certainly has on me. And you begin to sort of second guess or question, is this the right field? Is this the right lane? Should I switch out? Should I go and pursue something else? But ultimately, I know that my love and my passion and my fierce vision for what the arts means and what it can mean for our communities and for our future outweighs any doubt or any trepidation that I may have. So the hardest part for me has been just holding on to hope and knowing that this time will pass and we will be able to move forward with great new ideas and new vision.
But the other part of this, Daryl, and again, I like to call ourselves artists, those of us who are independent producers and connected to public broadcasting, but you are the real artists. We're broadcasters, we're producers, we try to create important content. But at the same time, whether it's our not-for-profit or what you're doing, no money, no mission, meaning you told our producers that you took a real financial hit. So it's great to talk about belief and faith and staying with it, but how the heck did you deal with the economic hit that you and why is that making you laugh?
It was no joke.
That had to be tough.
It was no joke, Steve. I lost about $10,000 in 2 days.
How? I mean, gigs that just went away?
Were canceled, performances were canceled, residencies were canceled, commissions were, canceled. It was by far the most amount of money that I've ever lost in my life. And what I did and what I encouraged the members of my artist community to do was to really tap into resources for support. So
What does that mean?
I applied for a ton of grants, city, state, and national. I connected with social workers and other folks who I knew could provide me with additional support. The city of Newark has an incredible program with Newark Arts called the Creative Catalyst Fund.
Say it again. We're going to put up the website, the Creative what?
Creative Catalyst Fund.
We'll put that up, and also the Newark Arts Council will put up as well. Keep talking, please, Daryl.
And they were able to provide support, financial support, that allowed me to make ends meet while I reimagined, right, what could I offer as a performer in a pandemic, which brought me to Broadway in the Bricks and other strategic partnerships. But while I was kind of reimagining what I was going to do, right? If I'm a performer and I can't perform, what am I going to do, right? And so I began to reimagine other options and opportunities as a performer and as an artist.
Real quick, sorry for interrupting. Is Broadway in the Bricks, is that part of this reimagining and the innovation?
Absolutely.
What's Broadway in the Bricks?
While I was sitting home during the pandemic, I began to talk to my neighbors because for the first time, everyone was
you
home.
live in Newark. I want to make it clear. You live in the heart of downtown Newark. Go ahead.
I live in the heart of downtown Newark, and I began to talk to my neighbors. And what I realized was that a lot of my neighbors didn't know what I did. And so I began to talk about the arts and ask them, hey, have you ever seen a musical theater production? Have you ever been to Broadway or to the Paper Mill? And they were like, no, not really. And so I thought to myself, I would love to take every neighbor that I have to Broadway. Unfortunately, I'm an artist in a pandemic and I can't afford to do that. So I thought, well, what can I afford to do? I can't bring my neighbors to Broadway, but I can bring Broadway to my neighbors.
So where'd you perform? We're running tight on time. Where did they perform? Where'd you perform?
We launched the series at the Newark Museum of Art. I pitched the idea to Newark Museum of Art. They were like, yes, we love it. Here's some money. Bring on the Broadway talent, Steve. And that's what I did. I called my friends in New York and I got everyone together and I said, let's do our show. Let's bring some Broadway right to Brick City. And we've been doing that ever since. I'm very, very proud of that.
By the way, Broadway in the Bricks. The Bricks, as Daryl just mentioned, Newark has always been, for those of us born and raised in the city and those who came to the city like Daryl, it is always and will always be Brick City. Before I let you go, first, NJPAC is open for business. I want to make that clear. Put up the website for NJPAC so our friends can find out more. But really quick before I let you go, one highlight from the New Jersey Education Association convention for us, Daryl. Share with the audience, please. Got 30 seconds.
One highlight for me was at the end of the speech, where I began to thank publicly my teachers, my colleagues, my former and current students for the opportunity to do what I love, which is simply to share my passion for the arts with everyone who will hear me. That, for me, was the highlight of 10 years of work and grit and tenacity. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity. So thank you, NJEA, and thank you, Steve.
I'll tell you what, Daryl, there's nothing like performing live. There's nothing like broadcasting live in the studio in person. But I would say this, your passion, your enthusiasm comes across, whether you're in person or virtual. And so I have a feeling you just helped a lot of artists who are struggling and those who believe they want to be and should be and are born to be artists. Daryl Stewart, we thank you so much and wish you nothing but the best in 2022. All the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You got it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by the Russell Berry Foundation, Holy Name, TD Bank, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, Kane University, NJ Best, New Jersey's 529 College Savings Plan, NJM Insurance Group, Community Food Bank of New Jersey, and by Summit Health, Promotional support provided by bestofnj.com and by northjersey.com and Local IQ, part of the USA Today network.
NJM Insurance Company has been serving New Jersey policyholders for more than 100 years. But just who are NJM's policyholders? They're the men and women who teach our children, the public sector employees who maintain our infrastructure, the workers who craft our manufactured goods, and New Jersey's next generation of leaders, the people who make our state a great place to call home. NJM, we've got New Jersey covered.